It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories. Division in Douglas County Schools.
I am very appalled at what the majority is doing to Corey Wise.
Denver 7 is live at the board meeting that could determine the fate of the superintendent.
I smell marijuana in there. That's why I'm in your car. That's not a... Hey, back up.
Denver police facing a lawsuit over this violent arrest.
Get out of my face. Get by your back.
Why this man says he was arrested because of the color of his skin.
Third time's the charm. The masks come off again in Denver, but not without warning from health officials.
That almost means, 1 in 5 person that you meet might have the virus. Think in a day how many people you might meet as you go about your day.
Plus, a little girl in a constant battle from the moment she was born. Now her community is helping make her dreams of Disney come true.
Hey there, good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter.
I'm Danny New. Right now, the Douglas County School Board is meeting to decide the future of Superintendent Corey Wise.
Now, this comes after thousands of teachers protested in support of Wise Thursday, following a closed-door meeting held by the board's conservative majority about forcing Wise out. Denver 7's Patrick Perez joins us live tonight with the latest. Patrick?
Yeah, Jessica, I just stepped out of this meeting, and as I walked out, the board ended up deciding 4-3 to terminate the contract for Superintendent Corey Wise. This was a vote that is technically still happening. We know one of the board directors, Hanson, she was at first a pass, then a no, and now she was, at the moment I was walking out, kind of giving us her last thoughts as to how she felt about this. But again, Superintendent Corey Wise's contract, according to this vote, this motion that just happened here in this meeting, has now been terminated effective immediately. So this entire time since we got here at 5 o'clock, we've been hearing from the board members, the 4 of them who were in support of terminating this contract, and we also heard from the 3 board members who wanted to keep Superintendent Corey Wise. They each side tried to plead its case here with this big decision to make. The room was full of people both in support of keeping him and also in support of terminating that contract. But as we just saw happen here, they have voted 4-3 to terminate Superintendent Corey Wise's contract. Superintendent Wise is here, by the way. Obviously, he's talked a lot tonight, tried to defend himself from some of the accusations. He's tried to defend his career, his time here with the school district. He really wanted them to come up with good reasons as to why they wanted to get rid of him. He says they haven't yet really given some concrete reasons, nor have they allowed him to improve upon any sort of mistakes that they feel that he has made. I want you to go ahead and listen to some sound from one of the board directors here as to why they want to get rid of him, and also one of his responses.
I want a superintendent I feel like aligns with us and aligns with our community and who voted for us, and just kind of be more proactive rather than reactive. And it's not like I don't think we can continue to help you do what we envision for, or have the vision for our community. But it's just more of finding someone who better aligns and has a better direction.
There's going to be mistakes, but I also believe in each of those mistakes, sometimes it creates the best opportunity. And I even think with all this, we might have the best opportunity in front of us because we see where the passions are right now. Can we be humble and listen and then move forward and make those better?
Now, right before this vote happened, Corey Wise, the superintendent, he was talking about the irony about this being about his performance, like I mentioned earlier here with the district, but yet not them being able to provide any sort of reasons exactly, any sort of documented reasons as to why his contract should be terminated. At some point, he was even wondering whether they want to fire each other, as in the 4 board members who are in support of terminating his contract versus the 3 who are not, if they want to fire each other as opposed to wanting to fire him. He said he wanted to have an opportunity. He said, let us lead, let me lead, let's see what can happen, challenge me. And it looks like that is not going to be the case here, I should say. And of course, this is developing right now. We're gonna have more for you coming up tonight at 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Patrick, and of course we'll continue to follow this. A Colorado man says he was racially profiled and targeted when he was arrested during a minor traffic crash in 2020. And now he's suing the Denver Police Department and the city.
Denver 7's Micah Smith has a look at the body camera video, and she spoke with one expert who says there was a better way to de-escalate the situation.
On April 27, 2020, 25-year-old Keelan Hill says he was driving on I-25 when he got into a minor crash with a pickup truck.
And it kind of like just sideswiped me.
Hill called 911 and EMS arrived shortly after. This body camera footage shows while paramedics checked Hill for injuries, a Denver police officer questioned the other driver.
After I was in the lane, he came in between me and the car that was in the lane.
Hill's attorney, Benjamin DeGolia, says this video shows the officer believed the other driver.
He tries to thread the needle between two lanes, dude, and he sideswipes, and he's being a I haven't talked to him yet because fire was all around him, but I haven't got his ID yet. He looks like a turd.
As Hill leaves the ambulance, he sees another officer searching his car.
Get out of my face!
The Denver Police Department has a racial bias problem.
Hill and DeGolia say officers didn't have a warrant to search his car, and that search, plus the arrest, violated Hill's constitutional rights.
It's not like I charged him. It's not like I was cursing at him. I wasn't screaming at him. I literally asked him, why are you in my car?
We showed this footage to Metropolitan State University criminal justice professor Stacey Hervey for an objective interpretation.
When I watched the full video, obviously the officers talked to the people in the black truck first. So I think the perception in the police officer's mind was that this person was already aggressive.
Hervey says with that in mind, the officer probably perceived Hill's walk toward him as aggressive.
I don't know if the officers or the paramedic did anything wrong per se, but it seems like it could have been de-escalated by all parties.
But DeGolia and Hill say de-escalation was the officer's responsibility.
The officers arrested Mr. Hill because he was criticizing their conduct.
Hill spent 24 hours in jail and was charged with interference with police activity. The charge was later dismissed, but Hill says he is suing the city. Hill has not specified how much money he's seeking, but says right now he wants justice, and he wants the officers involved in his arrest to be disciplined. Reporting in Denver, Micah Smith, Denver 7.
Thank you, Micah. And the Denver Police Department says it cannot comment because of the pending litigation.
A sobering milestone in the U.S. response to the COVID-19 pandemic. As of today, more than 900,000 people in the nation have died of coronavirus. That's according to new data from Johns Hopkins University. Experts believe the truer number is much higher. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimate that between February 2020 and September 2021, the number of COVID-19 deaths in the U.S. were actually more than 30% higher. The U.S. accounts for about 16% of global COVID-19 deaths, more than any other nation. Well, today is the first official day that you can drop your masks in many indoor places in Denver. The city and county let their latest mask requirement expire. Individual businesses can still require you to wear a face covering or ask you for proof of vaccination. Among those places, Ball Arena and the Denver Center for Performing Arts. Several other metro counties are taking the same approach, including Broomfield, Adams, and Arapahoe. Mask requirements there also expire today. We spoke to a local epidemiologist who cautioned what could happen by removing too many restrictions.
Instead of this up and down, like coming up and going down this way, it's going up, and now we're turning the corner coming down. Instead of this going, it's going to go a little plateau off like this and maybe slowly go down if we take off all the restraints, right? And we don't do the practices that we know works.
Dr. Chu also says by ditching all restrictions, we run the risk of slowing down the opportunity to normalize the virus.
The Children's Museum in Denver will reopen to guests tomorrow. Museum staff closed because people were taking out their anger over mask requirements on employees. Even though the city and county of Denver's mask mandate has expired, the museum says it will keep its mask requirement in place for those 3 and older. The museum says it knows the last 2 years have been challenging, but reminds guests to respect the policy and be supportive of the staff.
Coming up on Denver 7 News at 8. Political tension in Dougco going beyond just the school board.
Now we see this potential imaging or copying of servers and hard drives.
The latest investigation into threats to election security in Colorado.
We do need to double down in our thinking about how to protect from
insider threats.
Beautiful conditions in the high country this weekend, even a little chance for snow early Sunday morning. But will we have that chance here for the Front Range as well? I'll let you know.
And a young girl battling heart disease.
You feel good today?
Now students are rallying to help make this princess's Disney dreams come true.
When you see the joy on her face, it just makes everything you've done so worth it.